All right, everybody, welcome to our regular public council meeting for Monday, January 6, 2025. First meeting of the new year. Happy New Year, everybody. Could I get a motion? Oh, hang on now. Agenda. First, we're going to add in here that there's some public works motions and also our new business. Councilor Tapper. Councilor Manning.
I'll do thanks too.
Councilor Pollard.
Pass.
Councilor Appleby.
Congratulations and thank you.
Councilor Goss.
Pass.
Deputy Mayor. Okay. Thanks, and I got it. Thanks. All right. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda? Oh, hang on now. Is there anybody that wants to get on the first Q&A session? No? Okay. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda as amended, please?
So moved.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Okay. Now, adoption of public council minutes for December 9th. Could I get a motion to adopt, please? Could I get a motion first, please?
So moved.
Moved. Seconder?
Second.
Seconded. Any errors or omissions? Councilor Tepper?
I just wanted to refer people to page 4 of 15 of the minutes. Our current town clerk transcribed a statement I made during the budget motion go around last meeting and was reflected on that page. But I haven't mentioned, I did make an error in my statement. I apologize to the town clerk and to council. I'm asking that the minutes be changed to correct my error. I asked our clerk to check the attendance records for our budget meetings, and the counselor referred to in my statement did in fact attend one of those meetings.
Okay. Got that, Kim? Thank you. Any other errors or omissions?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for that, Councillor Tapper. Appreciate those comments. I do want to note that I am the councillor that you were referring to in that meeting. And I will note that I've been a single parent at this table since I've been elected the last 7 years. Since I've been here, I have attended council meetings. This is not the first time this accusation has been made toward me, and there have been other accusations that have been made, which we'll talk about later in the agenda. However, I do appreciate your comments and correcting the record. And for public record, I think it's important that it's noted that this is the first time in the 7 years that I've been elected that budget meetings have been planned during the workday. I know, Mayor, you had shared in a meeting in November that you had to take leave to participate in some of the budget meetings. And I did ask a question about the meetings starting during the workday, and I was advised that it was decided by consensus. I would also note that I did go back and look at when these meetings were advised to council. None of them had a week's notice. During that time, I did do the analysis, I did look at it. We've done this much, we're gonna meet next week, we come together on it. The other thing that I will note, there were legitimate reasons that I was not at that table. For 7 years, I have served here, and not only have I served here in this chamber, I've served at the M&L table for 5 years as the Avalon director and as the M&L vice president. I've served as an FCM board member and currently as a non-board committee member. And I've traveled to represent this town, paying out of my own pocket because council has changed the travel policy so that we have to do that, which is the purview of council and fair ball on that. But I do want to make sure that the public understand. During those meetings, I was sick, I was away. I did try to have a virtual connection. My children were sick, or they were held on days where I had to take my daughter to the Janeway. And I apologize for missing some of the budget meetings, I do, but I will be very clear that I'm here to serve the people of Torbay, have been for 7 years, and will continue to do so as long as I can. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other errors or omissions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Conflict of interest, little sheet is there. We have 2 items on there. Tappers Cove Hill and Robbins Pond Hill Road. If there's any other items that come up that pose a conflict, please raise it at that time. We have no proclamations, no presentations, no Q&A. Mayor's report. First thing I want to do is our birthdays for the month of January. Sarah Whitty, January 3rd, Recreation Community Services. Roxanne Waterman, January 8th, Corporate Services. Colleen Whitty, January 17th, Rec and Community Services. Jacob Hickey, January 22nd, Infrastructure and Public Works. And Matt Douglas, January 25th, Recreation Community Services. I want to extend happy birthday to all of you and hope you have a safe and happy birthday. One other thing I wanted to mention. Myself and CAO met, we had an informal meeting with MP Thompson last Friday afternoon or in the morning? Friday afternoon. We were here at Town Hall and she just happened to drop in to meet with Sandy actually. It was, luckily I was here. And we did have a chance, we met with her for about an hour, I guess, talking about various issues, dealing with the town, applications that we have in, funding applications, ones that we've had approved, oops, sorry. And we had a good conversation. And of course, anybody that was listening to the news today knows that likely in the next few months, there's going to be an election. So we kind of stress that time is of the essence for these things that we have in, particularly related to Great Pond. And, you know, we also talked about the issues all around, I guess, Pine Ridge, Jackburn area. Talked about that. And we talked about our Housing Accelerator Fund, funds that we're hopefully going to get soon. So it was good, good conversation. I thank her for coming in and it's good. Anything to add? No?
Nope, no, all good stuff.
She is. She is.
Yeah. And she's very cognizant of the issues, particularly with Great Pond, and did say that she's now fully aware that our application's been submitted and working very diligently with the new ministers, because we have new ministers now that have been appointed. They are all fully aware. She's briefed them all, and so that still is very much on the radar. And she's working very diligently to move that forward. So we're in a good place right now in terms of getting that conversation continue.
That answers Councillor Pollard's questions about
Half it.
the,
Half of it.
At least I got some of it anyway. I know. Yeah.
all right. So, moving on. Business Advisory Report, 03 January 2025. Anybody have any items on there?
We're just on that water issue, and thanks for the update, and it's great that the MP is on top of it. I certainly hope that the events of the day in terms of the resignation and the, I guess, the kerfuffle that'll go on internally is not going to slow that down by any. I guess the other thing, I think we did mention it briefly when we had traversed down the road of trying to get money from the feds, was the impact that the incident may have on some housing values and how it's going to impact us down the road, and our need to talk to the province as well. So can we put something on our agenda to try to get someone from the province on side on this as well? Because if our assessed values happen to be impaired, there's nothing we can do about it, because legislative processes says that we got to go by the assessed values, and we can't hold it, and that's significant to us. While it won't necessarily impact us this year, if we stick to our guns and say that it's core MAA policy and all those things, it will impact us next year. And it's not really on the residents of the town nor the town's fault. So I think the province should be, you know, at least aware, and some contingency plan put in place for us to pick up that shortfall if we need to, rather than put it on the mill rate.
We did talk to her about that specifically, and she also talked about, at this point with our water supply application, is the need to bring the province in. So she's going to do that. Yeah,
Yeah, Minister Thompson did reference that, actually.
yeah.
Does she represent any time frame for that?
I'd
I
say-
love it when it says that, yeah, we wanna do it, but
Yeah,
we have a
Yeah,
date or what the follow-up is. Once
she
again,
did-
I mean,
yeah.
she's gonna be concerned with a lot of other things right at the present time, too.
She didn't express specific dates, but she did say she's working on this immediately. Then, like, this is on the top of her radar.
But we'll follow up anyway on a regular
yeah.
basis, right, yourself.
Yeah, yeah, and I have been, and she's given me her cell phone number to contact her anytime, so.
Okay, thanks.
okay. All right, Counselor Appley.
Thank you, Mayor. In light of conversations that Councillor Tapper made in the last public meeting, the first part of it we discussed during the adoption of the meeting minutes, but the second part was around we're together as a council, we need to work together. And I couldn't agree more. That's very important. But I think it's really important as well to address tonight that since we've been elected, this term in particular, there have been false comments made about me. It's happened in this chamber, it's happened in print, it's happened in different spaces. And it's very difficult to participate and show up in spaces when, as per Catherine Melbourne's last article in the paper, the last claim that was made against me cost the taxpayers over $9,900. So I just wanted to address this because I think it's really important that we ensure that we have safe workplaces. At the FCM table, I was part of bringing forward conversations around dealing with bullying and harassment at the national table. And in June, we were able to bring forward resolutions that were supported by the Federation of Canadian Municipalities unanimously to ensure that issues around bullying and harassment don't continue. And it happens right across the country. So I'm not saying that that's what this is, but I am asking that there are no more false comments or comments that are not true made about me. I would ask that that comes to a stop. And I think it's really important that we do come to the table. I am and have done, in a respectful way, and will continue to do so. But I'm just asking that that behavior does not continue. So that's the end of my comments, but I wanted to bring that forward, ask the question, and make sure that that's noted. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any comment on that? All right, thank you. Correspondence. We have a correspondence here from Municipal Assessment Agency Board update for Avalon and Urban. This that can be sent on to Corporate Services. M&L year in review. That could be just, it's there for information purposes only. I encourage everybody to look at it. M&L this year, we've done a lot of really good work. And as it says at the end, we're looking forward to 2025. There's another one here for M&L committees that there, I think I saw an email today.
It's on your agenda there that it's extended to.
Yes. January 17th. So if anybody has any interest in serving on any of these committees with M&L,
Please let me know.
please don't hesitate to put your name forward. And do it. I know Councilor Pollard participated on the Finance Committee last year, right? Are you still on it?
Yep.
You going back?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Okay. And last one, FCM advocacy update. I guess that's there from you, Councilor Appley?
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay.
So from December 2nd to December 6th, I was in Ottawa for the FCM Advocacy Days. It was amazing. I got to meet with now Minister Joanne Thompson. She was the first meeting I had. I did reach out and I asked council and staff to advise me of items we should speak with her about. She did give me an update and we had a conversation about what's happening with water in the community. We also talked about housing, and the Housing Accelerator funding, and that's an FCM initiative that we talk about. We also talked about the requirement of a fiscal framework, and we spoke to, not only did I speak with MP Thompson, but I also met with Minister Thompson, MP Churns Rogers as well, Senator David Wells, and also Senator Mohammed Ravali. They were fabulous meetings. We talked about the need for a new fiscal framework so that municipalities get greater and direct access to funds. Right now, oftentimes what happens is the money is funneled through the province, and then we have to make application to the province. And we've had some complications with that, especially around infrastructure and the sidewalks, you'll recall that. So having conversations about, is there a way to make that more efficient? And like we did with doubling of the gas tax, have more money come into the municipality. And in 1 year, we had $400,000 additional come through because of that advocacy work. So really great conversations that we had around that. Transportation, housing, the same things that we at FCM continue to have conversations about. I was also able to sit in the meetings, in the rooms. You know, we were addressed by the housing minister, Sean Fraser. We were addressed by the shadow minister as well in the room. So they told us in real time, you know, what to expect with things like the Housing Accelerator Fund and how that could be. And I think it's really important to share that when I'm there and I'm in the room and we get information like that, I'm able to contact staff and advise them of the information so we can take action. So just so that the public is aware of some of those benefits. Another thing about being there in person, just to share, Deputy Mayor Sheila O'Leary was staying just around the corner from me and a good friend to our council. And she had taken me out to see the Irish Descendants, who happened to be playing that night up in the Arts Centre. And she said, my Christmas gift to you, I want to do this. And I said, well, thank you. So we went to see the Irish Descendants, which was fabulous. But that night, as the Irish Descendants were playing, they had a group that were playing with them. And one of the guys in the band that was there with Rum Raggett was Mark Manning. And they talked about Mark Manning's dad being in the audience. So Senator Revelia and Senator Manning were there. We saw them. And after the show was done, we found out that Senator Manning was Mark Manning's dad. So it was really fun to connect and get to meet in those spaces and have those conversations. So I just wanted to share that we did an awful lot of great advocacy, meeting with our counterparts across the countries, you know, talking about all the good work that's happening here in Torbay, making sure that, you know, federal minister and that federal members were aware. And the really key thing about meeting with the senators, you're right, this is an election year. All orders of government have an election, but the senators will be there no matter what the outcome of the election. So it was really important to meet with them and have conversation about how can we find ways to streamline how money gets to municipalities. And we actually had a really good conversation with one of the senators about what we could do with that. So it wasn't just, hey, we don't have the money, we need it. It was, let's brainstorm opportunities and ways to find something we can do with it. And one of the senators actually took that away to talk to an MP about it as well. So really, really great experience, really great conversations, lots of good representation of the town of Torbay there. And also was able to attend the event when the MPs were in the room and get to meet with the Prime Minister while the Atlantic delegation were there. They were all like, wouldn't it be nice to get a picture with the Prime Minister? And I went, let's do that. So I went over and tapped him on the shoulder and said, Prime Minister, it'd be nice to get a picture with the Atlantic delegation. He very readily obliged. So just wanted to share what a great opportunity it was, what great connections we made. And it was a really, really good positive story for the town of Torbay. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Any questions? Nope. Okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Committees of council, committee of the whole, we don't have any report. Planning, land use development, Councilor Power.
Thank you, Your Worship. The first item up refers to Teppers Colville Road and is a recommendation for order of removal. And there's a bit of a history on this in terms of the number of contacts we've had with the person, some dispute over land ownership of which the person has not been able to provide, you know, significant proof of ownership and things of that nature, but it is in a conservation zone, and we haven't had much luck in having the person remove the item. So there's a motion to issue an order of removal of all vehicles, sea cans and RV trailers and all other equipment and structures on site, and to reinstate the slope to its original state. The recommendation is to issue this order in accordance with the Urban and Rural Planning Act 2000, the Occupancy Maintenance Regulations 1996, the Torbay Property Standards and Maintenance Regulations 2017, and the Torbay Development Regulations 2015-2025. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Could I just,
Oops.
sorry, could I just comment briefly? you know, I'm not sure if everybody took a run down in Tappers Cove to see the mess that's down there for years. And this is not the first time this person got in trouble with the town when it comes to keeping his property clear. Years ago, we had to do the same thing. So, you know, and there's a lack of cooperation from his side. You gotta keep on his tail and everything else. But it's in a conservation zone, and the material that he's put there is a mess. For people going down Tappers Cove, I've had comments over summer, people go down there fishing, and they ask, you know, what the hell's going on? So I think it's time for it to come to an end, and we gotta move on with this motion.
Okay, any other comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Next one, sorry, is 72 Robbins Pond Hill Road. I was reading it all before you, anyway, never mind. We're in receipt of an application which had been previously before us, and we're willing to approve it this time. The preamble is there in the read if anyone wants to take it, run down through, but I'll read the motion first and then we can certainly talk about it if we have to. Motion to conditionally approve application C 2024-130 for proposed extension to the existing seasonal dwelling at 72 Robbins Pond Hill Road. This is in accordance with Regulation 49, Regulation 49.3F, Regulation 21.2, and Municipal Plan Policy 3.1.14 and 11, bringing the property into compliance with the Town Municipal Plan and Development Regulations 2015 to 2025. Property is for seasonal cabin / seasonal dwelling use only and not full-time permanent dwelling use. The town does not service the road for garbage removal, snow cleaning, or other means beyond the existing edge of the pavement. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Questions?
I had a question, and I called Councillor Pollard to ask about it earlier, just making sure that this was not in a conservation zone or a protected wetland zone. And Councillor Pollard had confirmed for me that that is not the case for this development. So I just wanted to note that for public record. Thank you,
Okay.
Mayor.
All right, thank you. Any other comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
And the next motion is to accept the 2024 permit listings for the week ending December 20th as tabled. So moved.
Second.
Before we do that,
Sorry.
one of those is for 534 Bowling Line. I just want to ask the question, Mayor. I don't see there being a conflict with the history of what's happening and happened, but I do want to declare that that is down the road from where you and I live, so.
Right, we're just accepting property listings of permits that have already been issued.
Yeah,
So
so
it's not-
I just wanted to declare for record that I don't see a conflict
No,
there,
you're
but I wanted
Yeah,
to
for sure.
put that out there. Thank
Okay.
you.
All
Fair.
right, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
So ends my report, Your Worship.
All right, thank you. Anybody have any questions about anything else in that report? All right, thank you. Admin and HR. Counselor Manning is going to do this.
Okay, the minutes are there. Our last meeting was December 17th. Recruitment section there, we've hired a new person there for the, what is it there, the 12-week replacement position, Dwayne Hayward. And don't have a date there that Dwayne started, but welcome aboard. Everything else is there. I don't know if there's any questions anyone has, rather than me going through what's there. I'll leave it as it is. If there are any questions, feel free to ask.
Go ahead.
I read the note about the CAO's goals and objectives,
Yeah.
and I'm very interested to read those. I'm wondering if council is going to review and adopt that, because I think that that's a decision that council should drive.
And that's the plan, is to put it out to everyone,
Yeah.
to have a review and discussion.
Because the way that it says here is a copy of the finalized CAO goals and objectives will be distributed for our reference,
Okay,
not a
yeah.
decision to be made
Well,
by council.
okay,
And I think
true
that
that.
the work
Yeah, it
of the
should be a draft,
CAO should be presented as a draft
Yeah.
to council, and then council should have the ability to speak to it and take a decision on it to set direction.
Absolutely, absolutely, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait now.
Hang on.
We can't, sorry. Couldn't hear you, Mary. Thank you for clearing. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I don't recall seeing that email, but if we could have it sent again and have council discuss it and
Yeah.
approve it, that would be great.
Okay.
Yep,
The other thing, if I could,
yep.
I just wanted to note that I received communication from residents who noted the position in the, that's being advertised for the town of Torbay right now for an immigration position. And I spoke with our CAO and I asked about it, and I was informed that it is a position that is fully paid for with the grant that our Director of Economic Development was successful in getting for the town. So I think it's important to put that on record, that, and congratulations and thank you, Director, for that work. It's really important to have an inclusive community. We have spoken about that for some time. And I just want to make sure that it was noted for the public record that that is a fully funded paid position that we have through something that the director had applied for and gotten. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? All right. Moving right along. Corporate Services. Councilor Goss.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We met on December 31st. We just did an update on this during the Christmas season. The minutes are there for anybody, for any questions. There is some invoices to motion. The following invoices totaling $631,422.60 are presented for approval. Invoice 30772, Afonso Group, $13,685. Invoice 46899506, Brentag Canada Inc., $6,064.57. Invoice December 2024, CIBC Mellon, $28,475.30. Invoice 14513, Coastline Specialties, $9,752. Invoice 52401, Constructive Signs, $13,092.75. Invoice 42, First Call Electrical and Contracting, $51,000. Invoice E6000023544, GFL Environmental, $63,607.10. Invoice 24172, Grand Concourse Authority, $31,200. Invoice 9400, Island-Wide Promotions, $9,335.82. Invoice HAPSET, December 2024, Newfoundland Exchequer, $8,031.04. Invoice IGBW00484S, Pennicon Grand Banks Warehousing, $154,956.47. Invoice 2490, Pippi Park Golf Course, $7,690.13. Invoice 838, Plantech, $5,088.75. Invoice 6417, R&R HVAC and Controls, $7,608.40. Invoice December 1st to the 15th, 2024, Receiver General of Canada, $67,614.60. Invoice December 16th to the 31st, 2024, Receiver General of Canada, $43,249.91. Invoice 1933131, Stantec, $38,359.66. Invoice 1957933. Stantec, $13,260.42. Invoice 91165,291. Stuart McKelvey, $28,377.99. Invoice 781, The Big R Restaurant, $9,965.90. Invoice December 2024, Trio Benefits, $15,256.79. Invoice 235538, Triware, $5,750. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Questions?
Just have a question about the Stuart McKelvey invoice for $28,000. Can we get an idea of what that's about, please?
It's legal costs for,
YBC. The YBC appeal,
Okay,
yeah, and the legal cost that covers for most of the year, throughout the year.
thank you.
Okay, any other questions? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Unless there's any more questions, that ends my report, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, economic development, tourism, history, and culture, no minutes, no background reports. Infrastructure and public works, we got motions that were distributed prior to the meeting. Councillor Appleby.
Thank you, Mayor. Apologies to the public for not having the motions in the package.
Just before we go forward with these two motions, I had to declare conflict, so I'm gonna turn the chair over to Councillor Tapper,
Okay.
because Deputy Mayor's off.
Okay.
Do you have a conflict for both?
Yes, because the
Okay.
vote to do with canoe.
Okay. So I just want to apologize that we're bringing these in today. We did not meet during the holidays, but the director did reach out this morning and ask about these motions, and I'm very happy to bring them forward. The first one is a motion for canoe procurement. Resolved that the town of Torbay intended to participate in one or more procurements conducted by Canoe Procurement Group of Canada and municipalities Newfoundland and Labrador between January 1, 2025 and December 31, 2025. So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Number 2.
Motion number 2, resolve that the town of Torbay proceed with the purchase of a new rubber tire loader through the canoe procurement process. The loader purchase price will remain at the budgeted amount of $550,000 as approved in the 2025 budget. Fleet Unit 05-05 will be traded as part of the purchase process. So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
I'll just make one comment if I can. Canoe procurement for the public record is something that we did when I was involved with the MNL board. And this group have an ability to access resources and procured items at a lesser amount for those municipalities that do participate. So I did speak with the director. These purchases and these motions are in line with our procurement legislation, and it is something that benefits taxpayers of Torbay. So just want to make that note for public record. Thank you, Councilor.
Back to the chair.
Oh, all in
Did you vote?
favor?
You gonna vote?
Oh, did we vote?
We have a vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good rusty.
Aye.
Now back to the chair.
All right, thank you. And I guess to Councillor Appleby's point, the reason I declared a conflict there is because I am still a member of the municipalities Newfoundland Labrador Board, and MNL has this partnership with Canoe Procurement, where there is a percentage that goes to MNL, so that's why I declared a conflict. All right, where am I? Recreation and Community Services, we got no minutes, no reports. Liaison Committees, Atlantic Mayors Congress, I don't have any update. Intergovernmental Affairs, Federal, Provincial, Municipal, I don't really have any update there either. Jack Byrne, any
No update
updates?
this time?
No update, okay. Northeast Avalon Joint Council, any update? there's a meeting coming up, I know.
Meeting Wednesday night.
Yeah, okay. RNC, I don't think we have an update. Did we hear back from them on our meeting that we want to have?
We haven't heard back on that, no.
Okay.
No, and we haven't heard back from them on the next door either.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
We haven't, there's been no response on that.
Maybe we should follow up with them
Yeah,
on
I
that.
can do that, yeah.
Torbay Volunteer Fire Department, Councilor Manning.
Minutes are there from their last meeting, and it's there for everyone's viewing, certainly. But I would like to point out that got a year-end, small year-end report, draft, I guess, more than anything. But I did want to point out tonight that our fire department responded to 260 calls in the past year. And one important thing with this is too, they had a 9-minute response time, average response time, which is below the national average. And as the fire chief indicated, most is largely, first and foremost, down to the hard work and dedication of the firefighters. And also with having our fire prevention officer there during workday hours. But I just wanted to point out, and there will be a more in-depth report, I'm sure, but I wanted everyone to know there was 260 calls they responded to in the time frame in which they did. Can't be any more prouder of our volunteer fire department, and just an indication that proves of their hard work and dedication. So thank you very much to each and every one.
Absolutely.
That so ends my report.
Comment?
Yeah, I got the story. Just on the report itself, I
Yeah.
noticed when there's a report there on the budget, and my memory's different, but that doesn't mean anything. The new Sparky suit says denied. I don't remember denying the new Sparky suit. I thought they went through,
We did?
right? So it says denied there, so if we can correct those minutes, I didn't like denied. And the vehicle for the fire prevention officer, the discussion around that was repurposing of one of our existing ones, was it not? So denied again, I would like more context around that, just for clarity.
Yeah, I'm sure that we did not deny it. Sparky.
Yeah.
No,
I thought we
Yeah.
so, yeah.
I thought we did.
I thought we did deny it.
Huh?
wasn't
I
here.
thought so, but I would have to check that.
Yeah, my memory, that's what I said.
I thought it was.
Not there.
I thought we
Well, I
approved
know
it.
at the last going off, there was just a mishmash, I'll update on David.
Yeah.
Last mishmash
Yeah.
of numbers that were
David, can you shed some light on that?
doing the,
Okay.
Well, let's check on it and,
Yeah.
and bring it back.
Yeah.
don't have time.
Yeah, we don't have to do that,
May I
yeah.
ask for you to repeat the comments about the vehicle?
Okay.
Being denied, the bond said, no way, we didn't.
Yeah, okay.
Well, Tony, you're not the only one, Councilor Pollard.
there you go.
The suit wasn't moved in the,
It wasn't, okay, thank you.
Sorry about the feedback on the volume, everyone.
Sorry.
Sorry, came on I said that we talked about the repurposing of an existing vehicle,
Yes.
Yeah.
or the discussion was around that anyway, or common use or something along those lines. Anyway, it wasn't straight out right denial per se. It was-
Okay.
Yeah, I think the discussion there is a vehicle available. I think was the
Yeah.
discussion, yeah. It's not necessarily repurposing, it's just that there are vehicles available.
I'd recommend that the CAO get together with chief and talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. Our municipalities committee, no update.
Mayor, before we move on,
Yeah.
can I just one comment about the fire department? There's a post that they put up on December 26th, and they said over the Christmas holidays, December 24th to 26th, our members responded to several calls for servicing, included 2 structure fires, one which has resulted in 2 people being displaced from their homes, plus a vehicle fire and medical calls. Our members have responded 260 days out of 365, which is over 71% of the days of the year that they are actively responding, even during Christmas, when us and our families are home in the comfort of our own home. This is what they have been doing. I think it's really important that we touch on that, just, I mean, in addition to what, you know, was in the report and what Councillor Manning had shared, even on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and Boxing Day, yeah, this is what they were doing, leaving their families and going to respond. So a thank you to them for that. It's incredible what our fire department do. The last part of that post, they talk about people who may be interested to serve in the fire department, and they talk about how members have been there for quite some time and there's a need for new members. So if I could ask, maybe we should add that to the Recreation and Community Services conversation, because we've been talking about working with school leadership. I don't know if there's a connection that we could facilitate with you as a representative to the fire department and also chair of our committee to maybe reach out to the school and ask, can we do something with the school in a conversation around who's interested in the fire department? It is a career. If there could be a conversation around that, how they could volunteer, I don't know. But there may be a connection there, because if we're talking about recruitment, we're talking about exposure, people might not see themselves in that role, but if one of our fire department members, a chief or staff member, go out and have a conversation with them, you might catch some interest. So just want to put that out there as an option. And I also know in Grand Falls, Windsor, they do have a program that the fire department have for young volunteer fire departmenters. For young.
Junior,
Yes, thank you. That's what I'm trying to get out.
which is what, yes, sorry.
Yeah.
I'll just interject here just for 2 seconds, which is what the fire chief now is actively looking into and trying to recruit and get that up and started again, because there was a period of time, way before my time, I think, when that program was,
They have it in Puchco.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I know fire chief is actively pursuing that, and in regards now, more than likely, well, I'm not going to assume, I'll ask, but he's involved with the checking with the schools and that age frame, because that's certainly the age frame that you're looking for.
Yeah.
But I'll certainly ask him about it. I do know, though, that he is actively trying to get that junior fire brigade, I guess,
Okay.
up and going again.
Because if
Yeah.
we're thinking about having that conversation about
Absolutely.
leadership with youth, this high school, it might be a good bridge in that space where you're on both of
Yeah.
those, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So, thank you. I just wanted to touch on those ideas.
Okay.
All right, thank you. One other thing I noticed there, and I'll ask the CAO to follow up with Chief, and it's about the P25 system for the radios. It looks like that our fire department can no longer talk to St. John's on the portables and trucks.
Okay.
So
Follow up on
let's find out if that's a potential issue for us. Thank you. Any other comments or questions?
Just, yeah, I knew when I was going through it, there was something else there. That comment on North Pound Manor, I didn't know what FDC stood for in terms of that, but missing caps and birds nested inside, which obviously impaired their ability to firefight or fire suppress at some point in time. So I find that kind of alarming, not from the fire department side of things, but the fact that the building inspection was not up to code, especially for a seniors complex. I don't mean up to code, but there was something that obviously was amiss when the fire department went and did the inspection. So I guess on the second thing, it's great that we do now have the fire inspection, folks going around looking at all the businesses. But I found that kind of somewhat disturbing if it would have impaired some type of fire suppression that was there. For a few birds. I don't know what FTC means, if someone can do that. Fire.
I think
caps
it's
are missing, who
the-
knows?
It's the fire department connection, I believe. There's a spot where they can connect to the hose.
Oh, maybe.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, okay.
To the hydrants.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, to
Is
the
it the
building.
hydrants?
must have
Is it,
one.
if it's ours, it makes it
Well, the building probably has one, right?
worse again. But,
Yeah.
Well, one thing good, Tony, you're right? It's,
yes, the fact that it
but
is.
we're
yes,
checked, we're
yes.
finding it now because we do have that capability to be able to do it, so.
I'll follow up on that.
All right, thank you. Any other questions, comments? All right, got no notice motion, new business, Councilor Tapper.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to, in general, I guess, to our residents. Because over this last month or so, I've been on the move, music-wise, with the choral group, and we've got our own small group. It's called the Killick Folk. And we went to Outer Cove, LMO, Flat Rock, and Pooch Cove for their events. In Pooch Cove, and again, wherever you go, people come up and say, you had a great year up in Torbay, there was lots of time to go, and you know, the music and everything else. And it is amazing, it's out there, and they're looking at us at first, I believe, and envious. I know one day Jen had the seniors dinner and concert with Bud Davidge at Common. There were so many good comments about that, and you can see it on Facebook as well, the postings on that. And you know, again, we had a great 2024. We're moving into the new year, and I hope it's going to be just as active to get the residents out, because they do love it, especially the seniors. So thank you.
All right, Councilor Manning.
And my thank you is going certainly to all the councillors around the table and on the screen. But more important, for the time and effort that we all put into to what we're doing here. And we must enjoy in order to be at it. But also too, I guess more importantly to me, and always is the staff that we have working at the town here. Each and every one in their own individual way. Without them, wouldn't make the town what it is today. So to each and every one, a very big thank you, and look forward to another great year. And that's pretty much. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilor Pollard, passed. Councilor Epke.
Thank you, Mayor. I wanted to congratulate Minister Joanne Thompson on her appointment. It's great for us to have our MP in that role, and it's quite an accomplishment for her to have been chosen by the Prime Minister and appointed in that role. So I wanted to issue congratulations to her. I also want to take a minute to thank the Prime Minister for the work that he's done over the years in the service. And in no way, we're all elected officials, and no way is it an easy job at any order of government to give of yourself and serve in this capacity. So just a thank you to him for his years of service, as he announced today that he will be stepping down. I've had the good fortune of meeting with the Prime Minister, representing the municipality, as I've served at the FCM table. And I've got to say, it was my honor to participate at that table and to see him in action in person. It was quite remarkable. So I thank you to him for that. And I want to also join Councillor Manning and thank you to the staff. I missed the last meeting. I was sick and I wasn't able to be here, but the Christmas events that we had were amazing. The parade I was able to participate in, and second to none, absolutely brilliant. So just wanted to put that out there. And the last congratulations goes to the North, and it's a little bit of a brag moment, mom moment. But the Northeast Eagle girls, U18, played in Bay Roberts yesterday. They played over the weekend, and they left with the silver medal. So congratulations to all the girls. I was very proud of my daughter and her friends as they played, and it's nice to get to wish them a well done. So thank you. Those are my comments.
All right, thank you. Councilor Goss, pass. Deputy Mayor. Yeah.
Okay, big thank you to all the staff, fellow councilors, mayor, and to all of the residents who come forward with their comments, volunteers, and to wish everybody a happy new year. It's hard to believe how fast the year has gone by, but to everybody, health and happiness in 2025. But
All right, thank you. Echo. All right, thank you. Yeah, I mean, as I always do, I want to thank council and staff for the hard work that you put in over the last period of time. It's longer than 2 weeks this time, as we had a little bit of a Christmas break, and I hope everybody's refreshed and ready to go for the next 8-10 months or whatever it is that we got here. I also want to thank our volunteers, particularly the fire department, but also our other volunteers that help out with our programs that we're running. cooking breakfast and all that kind of stuff, you know, it's, truly, I don't know, it sounds stupid, but it does take a village. And I'm so happy that we do have the opportunity to get all those people to come in and help out and you know, make the events what they are. And to Councillor Tapper's point about the Folk Arts Council and those groups and the entertainment that we put off here in the summertime, I hear it from everywhere. And I know that when we first started off, I was sat there in my chair. There wasn't a whole lot of people around me every Sunday when I go, or Wednesday when I go and watch the Folk Arts perform. But I tell you what, it's grown into something now that we can really be proud of, and people from other towns, particularly Lucky Bay, Milko, Valdergrove, and Blackrock, and the ones around here that also have members now, people that are participating, and they speak nothing but good things about it. And I congratulate Derek and everybody else who works on that. I know it's not just him, but he is the face of it. But there's a lot of other people that do work around there to give our young artists in this town an opportunity to be able to come out and perform. And you know, I think it's awesome, and looking forward to 2025. That's all I got to say about that. Now, question and answer. Got any questions? Got any answers? All right, Robbie, come on up.
Hi, I just have a quick request for clarification. When Councillor Goss, when you were listing the expenses, something sort of popped out, and I wonder if you could give me some more details. I thought it was the Big R restaurant, over $9,000. May I ask what that was about?
That would have been the seniors' Christmas
Yep.
party dinner.
Okay,
They catered that.
I see. All right, thank you.
Thanks. Is that it? Any other questions? I'm sure you'll have some Thursday. All right. Our next public council meeting is to take place scheduled Monday, January 20, 2024, right here in Torbay Council Chamber at 6:30. And with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Moved. Seconded. All in favor?
All right.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you very much, everybody. See you, Mary. Hope you're feeling better.
No, it was a $9,000 match.